Hey there, beautiful brown girl family.
Hi, Kimberland.
What up, honey? Looking cute over there.
Well, I'm trying for the people.
You giving it to the people. You got a little glow going on and everything. Looking gorgeous.
Man. How is everybody? Welcome. Let's see who we have in the waiting for everyone to come in the room.
Yes, y'all get on in here. Y'all know. Introduce yourselves. Let us know where you're watching from. Tag your friends, child. Share the broadcast on your page, and let us know what's up. Hey, we see y'all. Jennifer, Sarah, Aisha, Marsha, Irma, Suzette. Hey, y'all. Yes, for the cabbage patch. So excited to be here with you all. This is literally the highlight of our week. We absolutely look forward to this. After a hard day at work, it's nothing like hanging out with our beautiful brown girl family.
I agree. Let's see. We got Adriana. We got Tanisha, Eleanor. Did we say hi to Suzette? I don't know if we said hi to Suzette.
We did not. Honey, they getting in here quick, fast, and in a hurry. Okay. Look, y'all tag your friends. Tell them to come and hang out, grab you something to drink. We have to talk about the things tonight, y'all. Like, we are so amped about tonight's show. It is going to be a good time. We promise you will not be disappointed. So as y'all get in here, again, make sure you've introduced yourself in the comments, that you've let everybody know where you're watching from. If this is your first time hanging out with us on Brown Versations, please type first time in the comments so that we can acknowledge you. If you always hang out with us here and you're a part of our beautiful brown girl family, go ahead and type hey beautiful in the comments so that we can acknowledge you as well. Tag your girlfriends, honey. Tell them to get in here and share. Press share that broadcast on your page so that your network knows what you are doing tonight. Okay.
All right. So
hey. Wait, let me shout out some of our first timers. Hold on.
I know. I want to introduce ourselves to
go ahead.
Ourselves to the first timers. So like you said, for those of you who haven't been with us before, this is your first time here. My name is Sabrina. I come to you out of Dallas. I am a marketing professional, a podcast host, mother, daughter to Barbara, sister to Maria, sister to Tawana, and Who else do we have and my co-host?
Yes. So my name is Kimberland, and I come to you all from Central PA. I am a educational consultant. I'm a life coach. I'm an author. I'm a blogger. I'm a podcaster. And tonight, I'm one of your hosts here on Brown Versations. So excited to be here. We got all kinds of first timers, Sab. So let me go back and grab these people, honey, because they are in here. So we have Tanisha is here for the first time. We have Michelle is here for the first time from Tampa. Shout out to Tampa. That's my old stomping grounds down there in Tampa. We have, is it Kabira from Orlando? Shout out to you. Linda from Vegas hanging out. Yes. Sonia from West Palm Beach. Oh my gosh, Sam, so many first timers. Wow. Sarah is here from Chicago. And Manuela is here from West Palm Beach as well. Wow. Man, spirit fingers for y'all and a cabbage patch. For our first time. So excited to have you all with us here tonight. And we also see our returning beautiful brown girl family. Hey, beautifuls. We are so excited to have you. So let's go ahead and do our official welcome so that you know what you're watching. This is Brown Versations. This is our virtual platform where we talk about all things brown girl related. We're here to connect you to other like-minded women and give you a platform to share your voice in the brown versations that matter to us and those we care about. So we invite you to follow beautiful brown girls and follow us individually as we take this journey through life. Oh, Linda is here. She's a first timer too. She said she's a new entrepreneur, educational consultant. Hey, girl. Hey, boo.
You're in.
Yes. Honey, we up in this piece. That's what's up. Ow. Okay, so sorry. I've already been
Don't apologize for anything, especially if you haven't done anything wrong. That's what I tell people.
You're right, because I'm not sorry. This the party we turned up. We ready to get this party. We ready to get this party popping. You are so correct. Okay. All right, Sab, hold on. Let me get myself together, girl. Hold on. My hair is doing extra special things while we're sitting here. Okay, so I don't think we have any announcements per se today, but we do have some things that we want to acknowledge. So we want to go ahead on and jump right in. Let me get our things going here. So it is June.
Pride
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Yes. So shout out to all who are members of the LGBTQ plus community, also to those who are allies, right? It's important for us to recognize, we're always talking about Black Lives Matter and talking about lives mattering and the intersections that happen between our Black and brown communities and the LGBTQ plus population. It's really important for us to make sure that we honor and acknowledge Pride Month and honor and acknowledge those who exist in these multiple spaces. So shout out for the month of June. Definitely get connected to any events that are happening in your spaces. Aisha said, Happy Pride Month, one love. So we, excuse me. Yes, we definitely wanted to make sure that we acknowledge that, right? Absolutely. Also, oh wait, it was coming up later. It's okay. We can go ahead and jump in, Sab. You ready?
So yeah, upcoming movies, streaming, also in theaters. You know, a lot of theaters are opening now. So I don't know. Yeah, a lot of theaters are opening now. So it's not just about the streaming and the digital and the platforms, but we still have a lot of movies coming out on digital platforms. And we wanted to start with Mary J. Blige's new documentary coming out on Amazon Prime, I believe. No, Amazon. Yeah, Amazon Prime. And it's directed by Oscar-winning filmmaker. Essentially, it's a documentary about the multi-Grammy winning recording artist, Academy Award singer, actress, Essence Festival staple, Mary J. Blige. I seen the trailer. I did enjoy the trailer. I have not watched it yet, but I feel like this is a definite must watch. Kimberland community, are we? I mean, I think I'm here for it.
I'm definitely here for it. I love Mary J. Blige, and I just really appreciate her journey. She has done a lot of rebuilding. And, has really been through some things and continues to come out on top. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they highlight about her, because I don't think she gets enough credit for her iconic status, if you will. She's been around since a minute, and she just keeps reinventing herself like every time. And I think that people don't be appreciating her. So I'm here for the Mary documentary. Okay.
I think of Mary, I think of that her signature dance that everybody does, and
the two-step.
Yeah, I think
in the booth.
I think of that dance all the time. But yeah, definitely look out for that. Next, so Iron Mike Tyson, Iron Mike Tyson, and Trevante Rhodes. Hulu has found Mike Tyson, has found its Mike Tyson in Moonlight star. If you've ever watched Moonlight. His name, will play the controversial heavyweight champion boxer in the 8-part series Iron Mike. And Rhodes, who played the adult Chiron in Moonlight. And it's the movie that won Best Picture. And he also stars in the Netflix film Bird Box. So he will be playing Mike Tyson in this 8-part series that will be on... Didn't say where it was going to be. Apologize for that. So maybe we should find it now.
We'll have to look that up. We'll look it up right quick.
Sorry about that, guys.
Hulu. I'm here for this too. I don't know. Have you ever watched Mike Tyson's one-man show that he did? I want to say it's on HBO, maybe. But it's really, really interesting. He is an interesting person.
He's been through a lot of trauma.
He has. And he's given out a lot of trauma too.
He's given or giving?
Given. He's given out a lot of trauma as well.
Okay.
He's interesting. He's really interesting. Terry said 8 parts, so girl, it's a lot to unpack, apparently. Okay. So maybe we're going to get into his childhood and some of those things. I definitely was really intrigued when I watched it's like a one man, what is that called? A monologue, or like when one person, when he's like, it's him. It's a one-man show. But I want to say it was on HBO. This was a couple years ago. But
I probably heard about it.
Yeah, it's that was pretty interesting. So I'm kind of interested to see what this is going to highlight and what that's going to look like. So that's coming out again on Hulu for you all to check that out.
He looks nothing like Trevante. I mean, Trevante is fine. Trevante is fine. He looks nothing like Mike though. So I'm curious to see
nothing.
I
feel like in this picture I could kind of see a little nose similarity and turn your head to the side. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
All right, some other new movies coming out on Netflix and a whole other bunch of other streaming services. We got The Best Man coming out on Netflix. I am a huge fan of The Best Man. It will be on Netflix. We got Love Jones. Kimberland, I know that's one of your favorites.
Let me tell you something. Let me just pause right there, girl.
Let's pause.
Love Jones was the soundtrack of college. Okay.
What?
Love Jones came out in 97. I got to college in 99. Child, everybody was doing the Brother to the Night poem. We used to have open mic nights and everything at Fisk. And honey, all the dudes thought that they were Darius from Love Jones. Like, but when I tell you Love Jones is one of my most favorite movies in the whole wide world, I know every line. Like, I am obnoxious when I am watching Love Jones. Like, sickening. Okay. I was so excited. I saw this and immediately ran to Netflix. I was like,
you know, I think I might lose a fourth of my black card because I am like, meh. I just never could get into Love Jones. The funny part is the toasted oats part when he got mad about his cereal. That's what I remember. Yes. But other than that, I'm not running. Huh?
That's it. That's all you remember.
Yeah. And how Bill Bellamy's character was a douche. That's all I remember, really.
He was driving a hearse. Hollywood. You need to go rewatch it, Sab. And I'm going to shield you from the outrage. I see the wow reactions coming in. The people are like, what? See? I knew it was coming. Yeah, somebody was gonna be like, what?
Yeah. So I'll check it out again. Hopefully I won't fall asleep on it or anything like that, but I'll check it out. But we wanted you ladies to know it's coming out on Netflix. Let's see what else we got. Lupin Part 2. What'd she say? What Lakia said?
She said you about to get canceled. Don't get canceled tonight. We gonna help her redeem herself, y'all. Don't cancel her. Don't cancel her. It's all good. Terry says she's never seen it, if that makes you feel better.
See,
Terry. Hey, Terry, we're judging you, okay? We're judging you. And Sam, both of y'all. Okay? Judging you. Okay, but anyway, sorry. You said Lupin is coming out. Now, I don't know if y'all have seen Lupin. It's so good.
It is. And it's in French, but there is a lot of subtitles. Is it subtitles or subcaptions? Subtitles. So, but it's still really good. So look out for Part 2. And I'm glad that I didn't have to wait a whole year to see Part 2. Next we have In the Heights, and this one it's going to be a musical. So we got okay. All right.
Sorry. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. My bad.
In the Heights. This one is a musical feel good with Anthony Ramos, Corey Hawkins, and Leslie Grace, and it follows the tale of a bodega owner from the Bronx weighing his options about retiring to the Dominican Republic and selling his shop. And it's seen in a spirited song and dance sequence that leaps from door to door with chatty hair salon. So she's a hair salon stylist, and it's a musical of sorts, not full musical, but and this this comes out June 10th.
I'm excited about this too. I'm here for a good musical. And Anthony Ramos is he was in Hamilton. So he played Philip the son, and he also played Jesus. Somebody help me. Somebody tell me the other character he played.
She hates not She Hate Me. He played in a Spike Lee film.
Oh, she's gotta have it.
Yes, she's gotta have it.
Whoa, sorry, just had a little accident. No worries.
Oh, I thought
everything's all good, guys.
No worries. Yeah, he said that she's gotta have it. I forgot the character name, but he's such a cutie pie too.
Yes, he was Mars. He was Mars. And she's gotta have it. So he's super talented. Singer, dancer, rapper, actor, super awesome. So I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
All right. So the next one we have Summer of Soul. And this one is Questlove, and he's bringing us a Summer of Soul with his new film. And it's fully titled Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. And it's described as a feature documentary about the legendary 1969 Harlem Cultural Festival, which celebrated African-American music and culture and promoted Black pride and unity. This is another Hulu on July 2nd. Like, Hulu's like really up in their content game. But I am definitely here for this one. I'm here for all things Black. I like Questlove. And
I do too.
Yeah, we just wanted to get this on your radar, ladies, for you to check out some movies in home and or at the theater, because the theaters are open and I'm still not sure how I feel about going to the theater yet, but I got to just get over it and actually go to the theater because we'll talk about outside later. But yeah.
Yes. I don't know if I'm going back to theaters just yet. But for those of you who are ready, there are some things that are going to be there. For those of us who are not, we have the opportunity to hang out at the house and catch some of these streaming things. Okay. So putting that out there.
All right. So Issa is going to play Spider-Woman in the Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse sequel. She's actually going to be the new voice actor role in the second film of the popular franchise Spider-Man. So she's an actress, she's a writer, she's a producer, all-around multi-hyphenate mogul.
Yes.
And she's going to play Spider-Woman in the sequel. It's called Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I did not know they had a Spider-Woman. So if you are a comic book fan, then I apologize. Did not know.
No worries.
Sure.
I'm just getting into it. But the Into the Spider-Verse is like super cute. Cartoon. So that's I don't think Issa's, I don't know, has she been a cartoon before? But that's one of my aspirations in life. I want to be a cartoon character. So I always think that's super awesome. But Issa is out here winning. We have been highlighting her for maybe the past few shows. Like she just keeps being in the news. So shout out to Issa getting it in. Okay. She is out here winning and we are here for it.
All right, so next we have Howard University plans to rename its College of Fine Arts after the visionary Chadwick Boseman. So the College of Fine Arts brings this part of his story full circle, and they want to ensure that his legacy will continue and to inspire other young storytellers to come. So they're going to rename the college after Chadwick Boseman, which is
it's a good move.
It's a good move, but it's a good move, like you said, but it's also, it goes without saying, like it's warranted, it's deserved, and it's a great way to honor his legacy and to continue on with his legacy.
Yeah, he is definitely their beloved alumnus and alumnus.
I don't know which one.
My what do you call it? My Latin is escaping me right now. But that is super dope for him to have that honor. So shout out to Howard for that move. And Robin, you're right. Felicia Rashad is also the dean of the Fine Arts College. So that news came out a few weeks ago as well. So that was super exciting and awesome to hear that. Again, very well deserved.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're killing it. Come on, HU Bisons, y'all get it in. Get it in.
All right. So Corinne Jean-Pierre she is the woman who, you guys remember, she was the woman who, when President-elect or Vice President-elect Kamala at the time, she was the woman who like kind of strong-armed somebody, a heckler, from like touching Kamala on stage. Do y'all remember that? This is Corinne. Well, Corinne is has become the second Black woman to lead a White House press briefing on, I want to say this was a couple weeks ago. And she is following Judy Smith since 1991. And Judy Smith is who the television show Scandal is based off of. So we just wanted to highlight her and say that's super dope for her. And while this shouldn't matter, she's the first openly gay press secretary as well. And I say that because I keep seeing that in the stories, and I don't know why that is significant, and I don't know why I brought it up now, but I keep seeing it in my research that she is the second Black woman and the first openly gay, but it ain't even about,
because it's a big deal. So I know, Sab, we always talk about these firsts. And so her being the first is huge when we think about, again, with Pride Month and LGBTQ plus rights, they are a historically marginalized community. So for her to be able to exist in her skin and not have to contort and put on a mask in order to be accepted, that's a big deal. Yeah. So that's why it keeps getting highlighted, because she's able to be open and free, and that hasn't always been the case. So yeah, shout out to her.
I guess I just didn't like how, I mean, and while I obviously support, I just didn't understand why that had to be a highlight. But you do make a good point, but because she is who she is, and it's like, okay, I don't know, but shout out to her, like you said. All right, so this next story, guard your loins, grab your pearls, because when I saw this story, I just thought that I wasn't sure if I should present it to you ladies. So I was reading this headline, it was clickbait, and it said, teaching your first graders how to masturbate. And it says, don't let parents touch you without consent. And again, it was clickbait, and it's not about first graders masturbating. So some parents in this New York City private school are fuming mad after learning that their first graders are learning about masturbation and are also being told about how not to let other people touch them without their consent. So this school called Dalton School in New York reportedly showed the students a video from the cartoon series called Amaze, and the little boy in the video asks about erections. So if we are ready to show that video.
Okay. So
once you show this video, we want to know.
I'm going to show it. I was trying to get it started up.
Let's do it. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
And show that.
All right.
The bean footage.
All right. Sorry. It's really something. Okay, here we go. The comments. They're like, what the world? Okay, here we go.
Hey, how come my penis
wait. Can you hear it?
Yes, I can hear it. I'm sorry for laughing. But yes, okay. I can hear it.
Hold on. I want to make sure the sound is shared so that everybody can hear.
You want to make sure that they can hear it?
With the full appreciation of what we have here. Okay. All right. Let me try one more time. Sorry, y'all. Give me just a moment.
Okay, they can hear it. Okay, perfect. Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right, here we go.
Hey, how come my penis gets big sometimes and points up in the air? That's called an erection. Sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good. Sometimes when I'm in my bath or when mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my vulva too. You have a clitoris there, Kayla, that probably feels good to touch the same way Keith's penis feels good when he touches it. But have you ever noticed that older kids and grown-ups don't touch their private parts in public? They don't? That's right, Keith. It's okay to touch yourself and see how different body parts feel, but it's best to only do it in private.
All right. Thoughts, reactions. How do you feel about the school teaching your children about their bodies with or without your consent? These are first graders. And I remember when I was in the fifth grade, we was in a class where they separated the boys and the girls, and we talked about these things. So what are your thoughts on this video? Kimberland, what are your thoughts on the video? Community, what are your thoughts on the video? Yeah, so it was a clickbait title, right? But got me watching.
So okay. So where do I begin? I'm just looking at the comments that are coming in. So I'm gonna let you feel those for a moment while I talk. So as a science teacher, I can appreciate talking to children about their bodies. I am a firm believer that we need to call body parts what they are. I think that I hate it, for instance, when we call penises wee-wees and we call vaginas pocketbooks or, some type of little cootie cat or, things. So I think it is very appropriate to teach our children the names of their body parts, okay? As in penises, vaginas, breasts, things of that nature.
Okay.
This masturbation situation, though, I feel like that's a bit much. I do think what I know about little kids, and those of you who have kids or you have young people in your lives, you know that it is natural for one to touch themselves, right? It's a part of exploring. So I remember, I won't say that, I was going to put somebody on blast. I know that there are times when you might walk in and, the kid is exploring.
Yes, we've seen
that's natural, right? What I cringed about as I was watching was, I guess, maybe the focus on the clitoris or what have you. Like, I just feel like first grade, maybe a little young to have that conversation. I do think that children should know that they shouldn't touch themselves in public, right?
No, they don't. Little kids?
No, I mean that they should know that they shouldn't, right? So we should teach them that they shouldn't do that. And I also, because like what I don't want, I feel like a lot of us grew up with shame about our bodies and we weren't able to ask questions about our bodies. So I do appreciate the questions. I saw somebody put up that it should come from the parents. And I agree with that. But what I know is that all parents don't teach their kids about their bodies. So I, for instance, as a child, could not ask my mother anything about my body. If I asked her something about anything, I was automatically having the sex. And it was literally just like, my breast hurt or, talk to me about my menstrual cycle. Like, it was not something that I could do. So I do believe that children should have a safe place and safe space to be able to ask those natural questions. But I also think we have to make sure we're explaining appropriately and that we are allowing them to guide the conversation. So in this particular context, the little boy asked like about his penis, and I'm not an elementary school teacher, like for a reason, but I can imagine like a kindergartner coming in and being like, "Hey, I've got a penis," right? And the teacher being like, "Yes, you do," right? So what would that look like for it to not be an event as opposed to it being like, "Shh, don't talk about that you have a penis," right? Because the kid does, and it's not something to be ashamed of, or don't talk about the fact that you have a vagina. So that part is kind of, for me, where I think we really need to normalize conversations about our bodies. But I think we need to be intentional about how much information we divulge at a young age, just because it may be too much information. But I can say, like, I would have my mentoring groups, and my 8th grade girls would be asking me questions about their bodies, and they don't know, right? So when I think about stuff like the early onset of breast cancer or even sexually transmitted diseases, because kids are exposed to sexual encounters, 4th, 5th grade, sometimes 3rd grade. Like they're having the oral sex, they're doing the things on the bus, like they are experimenting. I think it's really important. Huh?
I'm just saying, I'm just like reacting to everything
Yeah.
that you're saying. Like, I am not a teacher. You're in the field. I'm not a
Yeah.
parent. But I'm like, I'm reading some of these comments and I can't, it seems like a little across the board, as it should be, right? Because this is a dialogue, right? Oh gosh, I was gonna say something. Oh, I think 1st grade is too young. I absolutely agree. And I saw this a couple times where in the community where people just think I think being in 1st grade, it's a little too young. Do you think it's too young to teach a 1st grader about not being touched in that area by a family member, or
No, I think that you should start having those conversations as soon as a child is able to verbalize to you what's going on, right? So again, there are good touches, there are bad, and that's why it's important to talk to kids, right? So that's why it's important to talk to kids about their body parts and not have that shame, because if they're growing up shameful of their body, then they're less likely to talk to you if there are things going on, whether that be somebody touching them or whether that be some type of situation happening. So like when I was saying about like early onset of diseases and all of that, like my girls, we had to talk about doing breast self-exams. Like they don't know. So if you don't know the base state of your body, how do you know when something is wrong? We talked about yeast infections. Like, do you know what your natural scent is? Do you know what discharge is? Do you know what's healthy discharge versus unhealthy discharge? All of this is stuff that if we don't have conversations about that, then kids, people, adults don't even know what to do. So to the conversation, or to the question of is it too early to talk to them about good and bad touches? No, I think that's very appropriate. And again, not in a way where you're terrifying them, just talking about boundaries, right? This is a boundary. This is your bubble. This is your space where you know that you don't want people to invade your space. And I think again that's very applicable and appropriate to teach our young children, because even like if you think about when kids go, and we've talked about this before, like when kids go and visit their relatives and they're like, oh, come give auntie so-and-so a hug, and the kid is like, I don't want to, and then we make the kid give auntie so-and-so a hug. Now we're teaching that kid to allow somebody to violate their natural boundary, like there's something there that they don't like or don't want. So I'm very sensitive to allowing kids to be able to exercise their boundaries over their body. Masturbation, however, I do think it is a conversation that needs to be had, but I think 1st grade might be a little early for that.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Well, I just wanted to put it out there. We just wanted to put it out there to get your thoughts, and we got your thoughts. So thank you for your commentary. So next we have our COVID-19 updates. So Biden, the administration, is offering its incentives. I was about to pronounce it incorrectly. Incentives for the unvaccinated Americans specifically, obviously. So the Biden administration announced a raft of new private sector initiatives on I think it was last week, Wednesday, encouraging Americans to get vaccinated as his administration increasingly looks to outside partners to help meet its goal of 70% of adult Americans with at least one shot of the coronavirus vaccine by July 4th. So the White House had announced the launch of a handful of community-based outreach initiatives, including blanketing local media, providing colleges with resources, and launching an effort to recruit 1,000 Black-owned barbershops and beauty salons across the country to get people vaccinated. I think this is a great community initiative because you want to meet the people where they are. Whether or not it will work remains to be seen. But then again, the world is opening up
rapidly.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think, ladies in the community? Kimberland, what do you ladies think about his effort to appeal to barbershops, beauty salons, these community initiatives, instead of just going and get vaccinated? I'm tired of hearing these ads on the radio, but I really love how they are trying to do this grassroots effort. So
I think it's smart to get the community involved. if that's the hub and place where people go, I think that is smart to tap in. That's something historically that the government just hasn't done, is really tap into community involvement. So I think that's smart. Yeah, I think that is smart.
Okay.
Yeah, but to Karen's point, that's why I paused. She said if they're going to use the shop, be sure to support the shop all the time. So don't use it for this purpose, right, of forwarding an agenda, but then now we just disappear at later times. So if we're going to partner with the community, then let's partner with the community all the time.
I'll devil's advocate that, because it's an effort to benefit the communities that they are targeting. It's not a Biden benefit. Well, I mean, it could be. You could say that Biden can tout that he's gotten all these vaccinations, but I really think I'm devil's advocating that statement that, I mean, he could be doing this really to affect change and benefit the communities that he's trying to engage and serve, our communities, essentially. Not all our communities, but I'm speaking specifically to our community. Like, he could just be doing this just so that we can benefit from it, because a lot of people of color, Black people specifically, aren't here for it. So that's why I said just meet people where they are. Dunkin' Donuts is doing it. Krispy Kreme is doing it. That's not meeting people where they are, but I'm just giving the example of Dunkin' Donuts and how they're trying to meet people where they are and to appeal to people in a different way.
Now, you know what I was thinking? I think we had asked this question a few shows ago about what would those who are hesitant to get vaccinated, like what might make them get vaccinated. And I think paying off these student loans would be a great incentive. I'd be first in line.
Yeah.
Like, where show me the receipt and that's zero balance, I'm here. Okay.
Of vaccination, I talked earlier about, I titled this segment Learning Outside, because I feel like as the world continues to open up again, I am trying to learn how to outside. And I know that's not a term, but I'm making it a term, because I don't know how to outside. Like, I don't know how to hug you or shake your hand or just I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, this weekend, I went to a lounge to hang with my friend, and I was just in the corner with my friend because he works there, right? But I'm in the corner. We're far away from everybody, but as it got crowded, I did that. So I don't know how to outside yet. So these bracelets, I thought that I saw these bracelets online, and I thought that they were really cool. And the caption really quickly says, "It's happening as workplaces reopen, as live events crawl back to life. As we open our homes and theaters and places of worship, how do we navigate gathering in person again?" And these bracelets, if you could see, are we able, can we do like the one screen so people can see what the green means and the yellow means? So the green means you are welcome. The yellow means that you'll elbow it. You're okay with greeting someone with elbow. And the red means I don't even want to touch you, but I'm here, so leave me alone. So how do you, like, community? Are you the red? Are you the yellow? Are you the green? Kimberland, are you the red? Are you the yellow? Are you the green when you're out at an event and you got a bracelet? Go, everybody. I'm just curious.
I'm orange.
You said orange.
So I'm in between the yellow and the red. Okay. I love this idea. Let me say that. I think that this is a really great way to treat people, how to interact with you. And I don't think it has to be really about if you're vaccinated or not, right? So as Jennifer said, she's vaccinated, but she's still red, right? So I think what it does is, again, talking about boundaries, it gives people autonomy over their body and their space, and letting it be known how I want to interact with you. So when I say I'm orange, I am mostly red, like just, hey girl, all right, air kisses, yes, love, right? But there are certain people I might hit you with an elbow, but then I'm gonna need you to back it right on up. Okay. So I think that this is a really cool idea, though, because you can just show like who is welcome, and you don't have to ask and make it awkward. And are you vaccinated? Are you not? It's really not about any of that. This is my comfort level of interaction. And to Michelle's point, it might depend on your mood. Mm-hmm. Today I might be yellow, and then the next day I might be red, and then if I'm in a particular space, I might be green, right? So it really gives people a chance to really interact in the way that's comfortable to them. So I love this idea. I think it's super cute.
It reminds me of what happened to me at a networking event here in Dallas. We had name tags with color coded about the industry that you were in, so you knew exactly who you needed to talk to. Mm-hmm. So that's what this reminds me of. I think this is a neat idea as well. I am definitely not the green. I'm definitely yellow. I did a couple this weekend. I'm just not with the mm-hmm. Yeah. Even could I tell you guys really quickly, I went on a date this weekend, and I elbowed my date.
Yes,
I went on a date, you guys.
Yay. Very nice.
We met in person. Yeah.
But yes, even for the elbow, right? Because I think that even in those spaces, like, and this is the thing about COVID that we've talked about the entire time, is many people think about COVID like, oh, I know them, like it's a sexually transmitted disease, like they're clean, I know them. COVID is not about that. Like, you could literally, I know so many people that contracted COVID and they were so careful, but they went to work, or, they just so happened to be in a space with somebody who just so happened to be in a space with somebody else, right? So I think it is it's really important to be able to be cautious. So now you done spilled this tea about this date, child, and now the people want to know the question. So what you willing to share?
Anything. This we're here, ladies. I met him on a dating app. I met him on this app called Hinge. It's spelled Hinge.
Hinge.
And I love this app. I love it. I like the app. But yeah, we've been talking for a couple of weeks, and we just decided to meet in person. He said he was vaccinated, but I still had my mask, and I still elbowed him, and we still sat, and we had dinner, lunch outside. So, I mean, he's a cool cat. We'll see. I'm not super excited, but it was my first date. After is it post COVID or during COVID, or
I don't know, on the COVID outswing?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's my first date since COVID, so I was excited. It was a really nice date, Jennifer, actually. It was a really fun date. I laughed a lot, so that helps when you laugh a lot.
Good. Yes. Okay, so we're here for the updates. Okay, cool.
All right, so speaking of COVID, I don't know if Christina's here, but Christina told us about, and I thought this was interesting. So data reporting numbers of COVID-19 in Florida specifically. Now, I don't know if you guys are community, and I apologize if I say guys. I say guys a lot, and I'm from Wisconsin, and that's what we say a lot. So I apologize. I'm not calling you guys. But Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club says the craziest people come all out of the Bronx and all of Florida. So Florida said that they will no longer release daily COVID-19 numbers, and they move to weekly reports. And the Florida Department of Health will no longer release daily reports. Instead, they will publish them weekly. And we mentioned that because have you noticed, ladies, Kimberland, that the COVID-19 numbers just aren't as in your face as they used to be? Like, I know Christina mentioned that she's a big numbers person, and so at this point, if you want to know what's going on, you literally have to go to Google and Google your state to see those numbers. So you're literally having to look. Do you care? Do we care about the numbers?
I definitely care. And I get really skeptical when numbers start to disappear. Like, and not that cases are going down, but that the numbers, we start to move on to the next news thing to talk about. Because COVID didn't just disappear. So it's like, where are we, right? Even if we haven't had new cases, I need to know that too. So it makes me apprehensive to be outside. And somebody said something about Irma said gaslighting. I feel like it's going to be a continual process as we're trying to open back up. So I am definitely not team go back to normal. My normal has changed. So I feel like everybody was trying to get back to this normal. And for me, I feel like it's a bit too soon, especially Memorial Day just passed, right? So there are going to be numbers from that. It's now hot girl summer. People are literally like outside, like in groups. So I feel like if we need to be thinking about it even more so. So yeah, it's to Linda's point, she said kids are contracting COVID. We don't have those numbers. Kids also can't be vaccinated. So I need to know the numbers. I need to know what's happening. So yeah, that makes me kind of nervous.
You know what app I use, ladies? It's either called, and I may get the name wrong, it's called either Neighborly or Neighborhood app. I apologize, but that app is Nextdoor. I get that name wrong all the time. It's called Nextdoor, and it's an app that you can use when you are wherever you live, and it gives all of the updates of what's happening in your community. And they often, all the time, give COVID-19 numbers in that app. So just wanted to drop some information for that app for you. It's called Nextdoor, and it's a really cool app. So yeah, we are still masking up. I'm still masking up. I'm just vaccinated, but I'm still not comfortable yet. So yeah, just continue to keep yourself safe. Do what you need to do to keep yourself safe and those around you to keep yourself safe until you feel comfortable.
Correct. Don't let people pressure you right into feeling like, because where did I go? I went to the market over the weekend, and like I noticed the vendors didn't have masks on anymore. And I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. Like I was going to go and get a salad, and I changed my mind. I was just like, I'll eat at home. I got food at the house. Because I don't want to feel like I'm being forced back into the way that people are discomfort. So just use wisdom and set your personal boundaries and, teach people how to interact with you and don't allow yourself
to train people.
Don't allow yourself to be pressured either way. So, yeah. So shifting over into our Black Lives Matter section, we came across this image on Facebook, and it is about Black massacres. So in our last show, we talked about critical race theory and how the Republicans have been on this campaign to eradicate critical race theory and just ban it in schools and things. And just for a quick recap, critical race theory focuses on teaching the real truth of race in America, and is centered in primary source documents and survivor accounts about different race events that have happened. So I came across this picture here, and it talks about the many massacres that were racially motivated in the history of America, but these are seldom taught in schools. And there are so many of them. So let me kind of zoom in so that you can see all of the ones that are pictured here. We have the latest, I think that's on here, is 2015, and that was in Charleston. But there have been so many that have occurred, and some that have occurred really recently. So we also just this past weekend celebrated, I don't know if celebrated is the right word, commemorated is probably a better word. We commemorated the 100th anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre. So Tulsa is where Black Wall Street was. And if you all watched Lovecraft Country, there was an episode that centered in on the Tulsa Race Massacre. We also know that Rosewood, for instance, is on here. There is a movie about Rosewood, but many of these other massacres people don't know about. So
I was one of those people. So thank you for introducing the story. Yes.
Yeah, so a little bit about Tulsa. It occurred over 18 hours from May 31st to June 1st in 1921. A white mob attacked Black residents' homes and businesses in the Black neighborhood of Greenwood. And basically the way that it started is there was a young Black man named Dick Rowland, and he was a shoe shiner. He rode the elevator, and research tells us that he tripped into the elevator and fell onto the white female elevator operator. She screamed. He ran away, but then someone that overheard her scream accused him of sexually assaulting the white lady. So he was arrested, and an angry mob went to the courthouse and demanded that he be turned over to the mob. The sheriff did not do that. The sheriff said that he wasn't going to do that. The lady never pressed charges, and Dick Rowland was actually released. But what happened during that time, because that white group, or because the sheriff wouldn't release Mr. Rowland to the mob, they then went into this neighborhood of Greenwood where Mr. Rowland lived or fled to. They went into that neighborhood and burned and massacred people, and really houses, businesses, just everything in sight, and just really annihilated this area. So they were just celebrating it, and there are, I see y'all putting it in the chat, there are lots of documentaries that are out right now that you can see on various platforms that really talk about the Tulsa Race Massacre. They actually just said that they're going to give the survivors, so the survivors are like 100 years old or so. This happened 100 years ago. They're going to give them each $100,000. And okay, but they're like 100. So it took us this long to like acknowledge and give them some type of reparation for it. But at any rate, that's what they're trying to do to make some type of constellation. So what happened, but at any rate, it is one of the many massacres that we see here. So our challenge to you is to pick a massacre and research it. And really, center yourself in historic and accurate history, as opposed to the history that is left out of the history books.
I like it. Challenge accepted. Can I mention surrounding Tulsa? That was a thriving Black economic community that never recovered. And that I think that's the part that really hurts, because they were independent. They were a community that it was burned down, looted, and destroyed by these white people. This was a community of Black doctors, Black dentists, Black lawyers, Black everything, Black grocery stores, Black retail shops. Like, we were robbed. This community was robbed of its stability for generations. And I think that's the part that really hurts the most. It's like, because while there is a Tulsa, there were still other cities modeling that. But I know it was this, just to know that this community was robbed of that is just the hurtful part for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So when we talk about critical race theory and we talk about, why it's important, this is why. Because these types of things aren't taught and it's whitewashed or it's minimized or
Like
dismissed.
1619 Project we talked about last episode.
Yes. Exactly. And just a quick correction, Linda said that they have not confirmed that they're going to give reparations. They said they're thinking about it.
Oh, I thought that. Okay. Thank you.
So that is the update on that. But yeah, so it is terrorism, Michelle. And, I think it's really important for us to make sure that we are aware of the tactics so that we can arm ourselves with information and really push the envelope and make sure that we are empowering each other and our children with accurate facts.
Absolutely.
So speaking of accurate facts, Juneteenth is coming up on June 19th. So we wanted to acknowledge that in Juneteenth is the day that slaves in Galveston, Texas, found out that they were freed a year prior. So that's when the word reached the slaves that were in Texas. And we celebrate Juneteenth in Black communities as our Independence Day. So what we were wondering is, are you celebrating Juneteenth? And if so, what does a Juneteenth celebration look like? Like, what do we do?
Yeah, that's a great question. For me, I looked for all of the things going on specifically in Dallas. And there are a host of different events going on here in Dallas during Juneteenth weekend, which is great, right? So what I'm looking forward to and wanting to find is some type of like festival where I can go just eat food and patronize Black vendors and just and be in fellowship with people that look like me. I absolutely love being around just my people. So if I can find a festival to go to with my mask and being fully pouchy and being able to purchase a t-shirt or something, or not a t-shirt, but any artifacts, any art, any pictures, a full-on festival. Like I'm from Wisconsin, Milwaukee. You can see my shirt here. And they're really big on festivals in Milwaukee. Dallas, not so much. That's how I feel now. I maybe changed, but if I can just go and be outside and fellowship, that's what I'm looking forward to. Not a club, I don't want to see no flyer with June 19th trying to like celebrate
the Juneteenth turn up. Not here for the Juneteenth turn up.
No, I don't want to see it.
So let's see what our community gives some ideas. So Jackie says she has a shirt and she's registered to attend an event with cultural representation. Jennifer says she's going to a festival as well. So seems like that's a thing. Aisha said they're celebrating again this year. They do a craft, read an age-appropriate book. And you're going to find events in the area. Oh, Lakia said they had parades when she was in high school. I've never been to a Juneteenth parade, so that's really interesting. Karen says she's looking for a celebration with Black-owned, represented everything. Let's see. Linda says she celebrates Juneteenth. She's going to festivals that celebrate Black culture. She said in Vegas, they're taking it too far by having a special stripper session. That's the flyer that Sab is not trying to see. Okay. So you all go ahead and drop any of the Juneteenth festivities, or whatever in the comments and let us know where they are. So in case people don't know what is happening in the areas that they're able to Heather, I'm gonna come back to your comment in just a second. That they're able to celebrate Juneteenth as well. Okay, so Jackie just said in Tampa, there's a celebration on Bayshore somewhere. Okay, so y'all keep dropping those in the comments for everybody so that we can know what to do on Juneteenth. I think it's on a Saturday, isn't it?
I think so.
Let me check. Or Thursday. It's on a Thursday.
No, it's on a Saturday.
Oh, am I on the wrong month? That's August. Just playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's on a Saturday, so that's perfect. That there'll be lots of things to do, and you won't have to go to work the next day. So shout out to that. So we just had who was that just made the comment? I said I was coming back to
Heather.
So Heather said that she is wearing her bonnet.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it, and we're gonna do our segment like this. Okay.
Now, if y'all have paid any attention to what's happening in the news, okay, you know that Monique has been all over the news, child, about this bonnet situation. So, honey,
what do we call it? Bonnetgate.
We are here to talk about the bonnets. Okay, so let's give just a little overview for those who may not have been connected. So basically, Monique made this video, heartfelt. You can see her hand is on her heart there. She's very heartfelt about what she is seeing out here in these streets. Okay, so she was traveling in the airport on her way to a comedy show, and Monique saw lots of Black women in bonnets and pajamas and furry slippers and things of that nature. And she made a very heartfelt video speaking about not wearing bonnets out in public. She talked about being respectful and being a queen. And
did she say respectful?
Maybe she said respectable. I can't recall. I don't want to misquote the queen here, Auntie, as she calls herself. Yeah. So in that situation, it caused a stir in our community and has really divided the people. So we wanted to bring it to our community tonight and really see where we stand on the great bonnet debate. So what y'all think?
Yeah, I am honestly I was like, okay, initially I was like, I agree with her. I agree, because I don't like to see it, ladies. I don't like to see, because what is a bonnet used for? It's used as a nighttime sleeping hat, right? Sleeping pajamas, right? Mm-hmm. But I've said that a couple times. I don't like seeing it. I don't. And the reason why I don't is just because the image that it perpetuates about Black women. However, as I continue to just do more research and as the story evolved, I'm like, a bonnet, respectability politics is not going to save us.
From so anything, tell us what respectability politics is, for those who know.
Oh, do we need to define respectability politics?
Yeah. So basically, respectability, and I know you're looking up like the textbook definition.
Yes.
I'll give like my version. Respectability politics is basically centering ourselves in whiteness, mm-hmm. and what is considered professional and respectable to a certain population of people. Mm-hmm. And historically in America, respectability politics is centered in the white understanding of what that looks like to be respectable. You have the textbook definition.
Yeah, I mean, it says, there's a myriad of definitions, but the one that I found, it says respectability politics upholds the idea that the supposed worthiness of a marginalized group should be evaluated. So holding a conformity, prescribing, I don't know if that's the word that I want to use, to mainstream standards in appearance and in behavior that will protect you from whatever it is that it's supposed to protect us from.
Any type of
what I thought of
stereotypes or whatever.
what I thought of, and I'm going to read this quote to you from Toni Morrison. And it specifically deals with, talks about racism, but it relates to sexism that targets Black women. So the quote is, the very serious function of racism is distraction. It keeps you from doing your work. It keeps you explaining over and over again your reason for being. Somebody says you have no language and you spend 20 years proving that you do. Somebody says your head isn't shaped properly, so you have scientists working on the fact that it is. Somebody says you have no art, so you dredge that up. Somebody says that you have no kingdom, so you dredge that up. None of this is necessary. There will always be one more thing. And there will always be one more thing. Specifically with Black women, if it's not it's our hair, our shapes, our what else? It's always one thing or something with Black women, and it's just always one thing with us. So that's where my thoughts have changed, because initially when I do see this, I don't judge Black women. I will never judge a Black woman, any specifically Black women, in their bonnets, but I feel like whatever happened to standards though, Kimberland, community, ladies, like whatever happened to standards of just appearance out in the public, because the bonnets are sleeping. I don't like to see my ladies in pajamas out in public at Walmart, out in public in the airport. I get it. You want to maintain your hairstyle, but I'm like, I don't know. School me. I may be wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong.
I don't think you're wrong. And I also think, so let me say this. I like literally when I wake up, get out the bed, I take my bonnet off. Like I rarely even go downstairs in my bonnet. It is literally for the purpose of me sleeping.
Make sure mine is on right.
Having said that, I am also not in the business of policing women and what they choose, or people just in what they choose to do. I no longer feel that someone's individual action is a reflection on me. And I think that a lot of times, especially as Black people, we get embarrassed. It's like adjacent embarrassment or secondary embarrassment for how someone acts, because we as Black people don't get to exist as individuals. We exist as a collective, right? According to standards, right?
Yes.
So what I have done is made it a choice to free myself from somebody else's whatever that might be. So if sis decides that she wants to go to the airport in her bonnet, in her pajama pants, that's sis. I'm going to show up in a way that I feel best represents me. I, am not leaving out the house in my house clothes. I feel like it's enough clothes out there, yoga pants or whatever, to be comfortable, where I don't have to leave in my pajamas, in my bonnets. Somebody put something in about a head wrap. I would much rather prefer throw a head wrap on than to, a head wrap, as opposed to wearing a bonnet, like right? So if I'm having like a head wrap. So if I'm having a bad hair day, I would put on a head wrap or a hat, not my bonnet, because my bonnet is meant to protect my hair while I'm sleeping so it doesn't break. But that is my personal choice. I just don't believe in policing somebody else, right? So I just saw a question. So Linda said, is it policing or is it being our sister's keeper? And I think that is a good question. And I think that is determined by relationship. So I know, for instance, when I mentor my girls, I would talk to them about being presentable, or first impressions, right? About different spaces that you wear different clothes, right? So I'm like, you're not showing up to a job interview in your shorts and a tank top. That's not the appropriate place for that. You go to the beach or you go to a cookout in shorts and a tank top, right? So it's not about it being wrong. It's about the venue or the space that you exist in that particular way. In that way, I feel that I'm being my sister's keeper. What I'm not about to do though is just be walking up to strangers like, sis, you out here embarrassing yourself. Like, who the hell am why? Like, no, that is absolutely not okay in my book. And I would have all the attitude. Like, girl, if you don't get out my face, like, because clearly whatever decision this grown woman has made, she made it for herself. So who am I to then in you don't know if they're open to receiving it. Like, insert myself in somebody's business. Okay. So that's kind of where I stand. I make my personal choice for me. But I just don't believe in putting my convictions onto somebody else because I feel that's the right thing to do.
There's so much to unpack here, ladies. There's so much to unpack here because respectability politics will not keep a police officer from shooting you just because respectability politics will not prevent us from being perceived a certain way by the others. But I guess I worry about just amplifying that perceived stereotype. But if we constantly try to catch and run, if we constantly try to make sure that we aren't perceived a certain way, we'll be running forever. Infinite.
And I fully agree with that. Like, I do not think that we can chase down every person who is doing something contrary to what we would want them to do. I think that we have better things to do with our time. I also believe in leading by example, right? So it makes me think, for instance, about church. This used to burn me up about church. Is people would walk in with whatever, they just left the club or whatever they did, and now here come the church mothers trying to cover them up with a sheet. Like, if you don't go sit down somewhere, like, I feel like as people grow and they develop, they naturally decide what is the best way for them to do. When people know better, they do better in most circumstances. So I feel like if you lead by example and they are wanting to exist like you are, then they start to emulate what you do, right? So I remember, like, my girls would be able to dress professionally on Wednesdays, and they used me as a pattern. They were like, Miss Jackson be having her heels on, and she always have on, you know, a nice little blazer. Like, that's what I want to wear. I never told them that that's what it looked like to be professional, but because they aspired to comport themselves the way that I did, they wanted to duplicate that, right? So I really feel like if we lead by example, then people will follow. But I did want to comment, Sab, on the fact that
dude.
How you sitting up here talking to people about wearing bonnets when you sitting up here in the robe, ma'am?
I saw Heather, someone said, but she's at home though. But no, this is you're filming out to the world. Like, if she would have went to Target like this, 100 people, 200 people would have saw her. But she put this out on the internet.
On the World Wide Web in a robe while you sitting up here dragging people for wearing a bonnet. Like,
and then wasn't she just dragged a couple years ago about respectability politics with her legs, or her not shaving her legs or something?
Yeah, there was some type of picture somewhere where her legs were hairy, which, hey, look, I don't be shaving sometimes either, okay? Like,
it happens. I don't shave every day, all the time, every week, but she had noticeably hairy legs, and she used to rock them like they were like she used to rock them. She used to look like, what's that animal from Star Wars? That's what her legs look like. Chewbacca. That's what her legs look like. And she didn't care because she didn't care how she looked in public. But now she's trying to tell us how to.
I'm gonna just say that I don't like Monique.
Hey, did.
I don't really care for her because I feel like she's very judgmental, and she doesn't come across as genuine to me. So in full transparency, sis could be out here talking about the things, and I'm gonna still be looking at her sideways because I just don't feel like she's genuine. I don't like her, you know. I don't.
That's okay.
So
all right. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Like, we can feel the feels how we want to feel about.
Yeah.
Monique. So I'm going to remove.
So that's the bonnet gate. I know, right? It's hot. Whew,
it is. That's how I turn my ear on. It is.
But listen, We appreciate y'all chiming in. The community is split. Some people are saying, that they agree. Others are saying that mind your business. That's all, just mind your business. And for Ashley from the Fresh Prince said for us. But it really is continuing to be a conversation. And just for the record, Monique has doubled down on her stance. She has seen all the criticisms, and she said that she said what she said. Okay. So just in case you were wondering if sis meant what she said, sis meant what she said. Okay. So take it or leave it. Govern yourselves accordingly. Amen and Selah. So our mental health moment for today centers in on another queen who is Naomi Osaka. So I don't know if you all heard everything that was going on with Naomi. So Naomi Osaka is a African-American, Asian-American world-class tennis star. She's number 2 in the world. And just absolutely phenomenal. So she was participating in the French Open, and she decided and made an announcement to French Open people that she would not be participating in the media events because they are damaging to her mental health. She said that she understood that she would receive a fine. The fine was like $15,000. She said, that's fine. I'll pay the fine. Hopefully y'all will donate it to some type of mental health, something or other, but I'm not doing that. Yeah. Well, the World Tennis Federation or whomever is in charge of tennis all got together and basically told her, if you don't do this, we're going to kick you out of the French Open, the US Open, the
Did they say that before? Did they say that before she withdrew, or did they say that before?
They said that before she withdrew. Yes. Okay. So then her response to that was, cool. So let me just go ahead on and not be a part. And I'm gonna just take some time out for myself because I really need to take care of my mental health. She shared that she suffers from social anxiety. And she talked about how the media will ask questions that are crafted for her to doubt herself and her skills. And things of that nature. And she really felt that it was important for her to protect her peace and not subject herself to the media's abuse. Yeah. So since that has happened, we've had a lot of people that have come out to support her. Serena supported her. Venus came out and supported her.
Did you see Venus's comment?
I did. Venus was basically like, they were like, Venus, how do you feel about, the types of questions that the media asks? And Venus was like, I'm paraphrasing, but she was like, can't none of y'all beat me and can't none of y'all do what I do. So, I mean, it's whatever. I don't feel no type of way about it because I know you trash anyway. Okay. I was like, Venus, give them the business. Yeah. Serena mentioned how she wished that she could give her a hug. She can't imagine what she's going through. Steph Curry spoke out, LeBron James, just Will Smith, I want to say, just many people really supported, are in support of her. Sanaya Lathan, I see here. So what we wanted to ask you all was about this concept of protecting your peace. So Sab and I had a little conversation when we were preparing for the show about the media. And I said, I don't feel like the media, I don't believe that the media should be a part of the contract for this. Like, I really feel like it's not necessary. Like, if you want to report on something, report on what they did out on the court or on the field. Like, that's the job. Why do you then have to come and ask them about what they did? Like, they did what they did. Like, report that. But Sab, you had a different take. So you want to share what you thought?
I did. I'm indifferent again, but I felt like this is a part of your job as an athlete. This is a portion of your job as an athlete. And while I do respect and regard and understand that she's trying to protect her mental being, because I watch these press conferences and they do ask stupid redundant questions to the point where you're just like, are you listening to me? Did you just see what I just did? However, my thought is, you're this big athlete. How are your fans going to get to know you outside of you just playing on the court or on the wherever you play and just seeing your Instagram posts? Like, people want to get to know you and have a level of rapport with you as a fan. So that part of, I think I think enables fans to get to know you outside of just you playing ball or performing, i.e. Beyonce. I've said from the beginning, like, we all know, well, Christina's a big Beyonce fan. I'm not a Beyonce fan. However, Beyonce not talking and not giving interviews is just like, I don't know you. I mean, and again, I don't know. I don't want to go on a rabbit hole, but I feel like it is essentially a part of your job as an athlete in some respect. And how it, and I love Naomi's comment about saying maybe you guys need to change how we as athletes interact with the media and what questions and they can or shouldn't ask it, while the media will never listen to that. But I do think that they should figure out something, because she said she's not good at it. She's not good at interviewing. She doesn't like to do it. It gives her mental anguish. Understood. There's no argument with that. But like, it is a part of your job as an athlete. Like, you don't just go out and play and make millions of bucks. That's what sponsorships are for. Sponsorships want to connect with you as an athlete because you connect with a certain amount of people. And if you connect mentally, emotionally with these people, and if you don't connect mentally, emotionally with these people, then sponsorships aren't going to want to give you money to sponsor their product. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going on a tangent here, but I think it is a part of your job as an athlete.
I think something that you said takes me back to the thinking about boundaries. Okay. So a few of you have commented that it's not we're not owed as fans these spaces, or owed the opportunity to hear what they think, like the interviews, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And what I think is kind of along what Michelle said here, like training journalists to be emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
Because there have to be boundaries. Like, I think about the great Marshawn Lynch, and he was like, I'm here so I don't get fined.
Yeah.
Mr. Lynch, how do you feel like you did about something? I'm here so I don't get fined. Well, what about when you ran in that touchdown for X, Y, and Z? I'm here so I don't get fined. I think that we treat athletes as if they aren't human.
They're property.
Yeah, they are humans.
They are property.
No, but that's how we treat them, like they're property. They are humans, right? And just because their job is forces them into the limelight, I don't think that we should then devalue them and ignore the fact that they are people. I could not imagine being at work. I facilitate, for instance. So I facilitate trainings, and bombing a training and then having to sit with my supervisor or sit with the newspaper reporter and be like, so you really jacked that up today, huh? Well, what you think about that and how that's going to impact you tomorrow? Oh, so, I mean, do you think that you've lost your sauce? Because, I mean, before this, you were really great, but today this was bad. Like, what are you, like, I could not imagine subjecting myself to that. My job is my job, but the scrutiny and the callousness that the media uses with people, I think is inappropriate. And just because they're athletes doesn't mean that they have to subject themselves to that. So I'm all about boundaries, right? I'm like, yes, they're a public figure, but I think that they have to say, I understand, like she said, I understand that I'll be fined or whatever if this happens, but for my peace, I'm not going to do that. The pressure to just disregard that, and I think it also speaks to how we treat mental health, as we don't look at it like it matters. And it is important, and it's something that we really need to hold in high regard. So one thing I can really appreciate about this is it has caused a conversation about mental health and mental health in spaces for people who don't get to be humans. because they are entitled to have good mental health as well.
Do you think
so
this
I don't
will have
know.
a rippling effect on her invitation to the other tournaments? Do you think that this community?
No, because guess what? They need her.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, y'all can have y'all little tournament. I ain't coming though. Now sell them tickets. You know, like imagine, like think, like wasn't it the NBA that decided they weren't going to play when everything was happening in the height of Black Lives Matter and all of that? Didn't they decide that they weren't going to play? Like imagine holding a tennis tournament without Venus, without Serena, without Naomi, without Coco. Who do you think coming to see this? Imagine having a basketball game without LeBron, without Steph, without like all of these people that like ain't nobody coming here to see the bench warmers. Like, so she's in a position, and these athletes are in a position where they are the prize.
Yeah,
so no, I don't think it's going to impact anything. I think they're going to have to be sensitive to what's happening.
All right. I think you're right. I agree. And I like the community. I'm looking at the community's sentiments and thoughts on it. And it seems like everyone agrees that Naomi deserves her mental peace and her mental sanctity. And I mean, I agree with it too, even though I had a different opinion, but I do agree. I always try to listen to both sides. I will always listen to both sides. But with that, we want to talk about our beautiful brown spotlight this episode. So we want to talk about a woman by the name of Kahawa, and her being the first Black woman-owned coffee brand for sale at Trader Joe's. And her name, I'm sorry, not Kahawa. Her name is Margaret Niamumbo. I apologize. Her coffee brand is called Kahawa. I apologize. So Margaret Niamumbo is, and the brand is called Kahawa 1893. She's the CEO and founder, and she made her brand's big debut in California. And it's a coffee sold in Trader Joe's. It's in over 200 Trader Joe's, and a rollout will reportedly follow. In addition, and 200 stores throughout the region, according to the press release. And the blends will include like Kenyan, Peaberry, Serengeti, Ethiopian Safari. So essentially, it's a coffee brand in Trader Joe's. And what's great about this is the first Black woman coffee brand in Trader Joe's. And if you shop at Trader Joe's, you know the vibe of a Trader Joe's. So to have her coffee brand, this Black woman, in Trader Joe's is a big deal. So I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'll probably go buy it for the sake of the smell. I like to smell coffee. So what we want to do is implore you to go to Trader Joe's. And if you're a coffee drinker, and if you're not, you can still purchase it and put it in your house like incense.
I love it.
But decaf, single serve, go to your local Trader Joe's and purchase this Black woman's coffee brand. And it's called Kahawa, and it's spelled Kahawa. Kahawa 1893. First Black woman-owned coffee brand in Trader Joe's. And I believe Trader Joe's is owned by Aldi. Yes, I don't know. By Aldi. While that has nothing to do with it, I just felt like making a point to say that I did not know that, and I learned that. I'm like, what, Aldi? But yeah, this is super dope. And if you are a coffee drinker, and if you aren't a coffee drinker, implore someone else who is a coffee drinker to go purchase this Black.
Or give it as a gift. Give it to somebody who is a coffee drinker.
Great idea.
Yeah, people who drink coffee love sometimes love trying out different coffees, like coffee connoisseurs. So it might be a little bit of extra something to know that a Black woman has created this. So again, in Trader Joe's, let me zoom in on the picture again so you all can see it. The packaging is gorgeous. So check that out. Again, it's called Kahawa 1893.
Kahawa 1893.
Yep. So, having said that, we also want to make sure that you all are able to connect with us. At the start of the show, we talked about how you can connect with us, but definitely want to center in on that again. So we had quite a few first timers. So again, shout out to you all. You all are now officially a part of our beautiful Brown Girl family. So we want to make sure that you really get connected. So if you go to our Facebook page, Beautiful Brown Girls, you can like us there. You can also join our Facebook group, Beautifully Shaded. You can follow us on Instagram at Beautifully Shaded and on Twitter at Beautiful Brown U. We also want to make sure that you have connected with us on our members network. So our members network is our VIP space, free from the algorithm of Facebook and all the things. It's our space where we can be our beautiful brown selves and really connect with each other. Beautiful Brown Girls started out as a brunch club, but we have evolved into so much more than that. So we have these events virtually. We are back to our in-person brunches. So some cities have already started that back up. We've got all types of meetups. I'm talking Zumba and painting and wine tasting and flower arranging and just all types of things. So you find out about all of that at our members network. So again, if you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, there you will be able to get connected with us and join the network of over 50,000 women across the nation and around the world who are connected to our beautiful brown girl community. So make sure you do that. And Sab, tell the people where they can find you.
Gosh, you guys can find me on my website, sabjackson.com. All of my social platforms are there. My podcast is there. My LinkedIn is there. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. My Twitter is there. Yeah, so you can connect with me there. All of my platforms are there. What about you?
Awesome. And you can find me on my website as well, kimberlandjackson.com. If you are looking for a life coach to help you get your life together, that's going to keep it real and keep you laughing, holla at your girl. I also have a devotional project that is out. So it's called it's called One Day at a Time, but it's 365 days of devotions, affirmations, and encouragements. You can also find my podcast. I've got a couple. So one is called The Whole Child, and you can find that on thewholechild.tv. And there we talk about healing ourselves from childhood trauma so that we are able to raise a healthy generation following us. But then my newest project that I'm working on that hasn't been fully released yet, it's just in I'm getting my content together. It's called Minding My Black Ass Business. And that is going to be the place where I talk about all things that I'm minding my business. Okay. So I've got a lot of things in the works. Some huge doors are opening for me and some huge life transitions that I'll be talking about there. So that will be coming soon, and I'll definitely make sure to let you all know first. You'll get the exclusive of when everything goes live. So we definitely just appreciate you all hanging out with us. You all are just so awesome, and you really are the highlight of our week. After a long day, this is the place that we love to come. So we definitely want to see you all back here for our next episode of Brown Conversations on the 21st. But we also this week have another show. Brown Girl Boss is coming up on Wednesday, the 9th, and we're going to be interviewing Vanessa Jeffrard. I hope I'm saying that correctly. She is the founder of Badge Esteem. So you remember we were talking about our bodies and all of those things. That's what we're talking about on Wednesday. Badge Esteem. So you definitely want to tune in. That's going to be right here on Facebook at 8 p.m. So Vanessa and I will be chatting it up. We would love for you to join us there and back here on our next episode of Conversations on the 21st. We love you all. We appreciate you all. Smooches, kisses, hugs, elbows, all the things. And we will catch y'all on the next go round.
Bye,
y'all.